and welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Laura Cotter.
And I'm Sky Orchard.
And I have a lighthearted story to distract us, from the horrors. So my niece, she's 2.5, and her favorite thing right now to do is to pretend to be a cat.
Meow.
She'll come up to you, she'll meow, she'll ask for pets, she'll snuggle up against you. And so in her pursuit of acting perfection, she is doing research on cats to understand how different cats act. And right now, the subject of her research is Mabel.
Oh.
Mabel also gets bonus points, I think, because Mabel is very mysterious to her, because anytime my niece comes over, Mabel hides in the closet the entire time. So she only catches glimpses of Mabel in between the clothes. So my sister sent me a video yesterday of my niece asking at the breakfast table, can Mabel eat peanut butter? And I laughed, and then my sister's like, you have to answer. She's going to ask me when I pick her up from daycare. I'm like, I've never attempted to feed Mabel peanut butter. I don't think she would want it. She's not really into human food, aside from some sauces. And I think peanut butter does not count as a sauce for Mabel. But anyway, so I was telling my niece that a little while ago about how Mabel loves tummy rubs. And so Mabel was laying on the bed last night and just, doing the stretch and rub my belly thing. So I was rubbing her belly for a really long time. And I'm like, I'm going to take a video and I'm going to send this to my sister. It was rubbing, and got a 45-second video that I sent over to her. Apparently she showed my niece this morning and my niece loved it. So her other favorite genre of Mabel video is when Mabel jumps from her cat tree to my bed and then runs off the bed, zooming really fast. She thinks that is the funniest thing she's ever seen. So every time I can get one of those videos, it's like people with the different Avengers movies. It's it's a number one. We gotta be one. She loves it. So that was my lighthearted show chit chat. You got any chit chat, Sky?
Just got back from seeing Florence and the Machine twice because after one night we decided we must see her again. And
so I take it was good.
It was very good. Very magical.
Was it mostly new stuff or was it some old stuff too?
It was a good mixture of everybody scream and then her really popular old stuff there. The second night was in Atlantic City, and Atlantic City got 2 extra songs that she hadn't done before yet in this tour because it was supposed to originally play in Philadelphia, which is where me and my friend originally had tickets for. Mm-hmm. Whole saga, The Flyers made the playoffs and kicked Florence out of the arena.
Oh, sports, boo.
We last minute pivoted and saw in Brooklyn on Friday night, magical. And then we're on the train to Philadelphia Saturday, and we're deciding what to do since it would be my first time seeing Philadelphia. And we were both or we could pivot to Atlantic City and see her again. And my friend's parents lived in Atlantic City, so it worked out great. But Florence did give us 2 new songs in Atlantic City because we got kicked out of Philadelphia.
Good for you.
I'm on a Florence high, but also a time zone change.
Yeah.
Stupor.
I also had a mini vacation, but nowhere near as fun because I went down with my mom for a state local government conference.
Ooh.
And so I got to spend time by myself, but I also spent evening dinners with local politicians, which it was fun. It was fun. I had fun. But driving back and forth to St. George in the span of 72 hours is not my preferred vacation. Yours was definitely better. I would rather have been on a train to Philadelphia or to Atlantic City.
Now I'm debating if I can squeeze her in a third time before
do it.
The tour closes. We'll see. San Francisco might be headed your way.
Is she coming to Denver? Denver's always a cheap, easy one.
No, Denver.
Boo. Is she going to Idaho?
Yeah, that'd be a riot. People are too big for the likes of Utah and Idaho these days.
I will say I'm keeping an eye out because Kesha has canceled a few of her tour dates, and the rumors are that it's not selling well. So I'm watching with bated breath to make sure ours doesn't get canceled. Although I feel like she does well in Utah, which is weird. Our question of the week. I'm getting really lazy with my questions. What more can we say? Our question from this one is from the episode, would you rather date a genie, a Martian, or an enchanted tree?
Gonna say enchanted tree.
Do you have a reason behind that?
I like trees.
Okay.
I have many trees tattooed on me. I'm slowly working on becoming an orchard. I'll live up to my name somehow.
Hey, but I also think I would pick enchanted tree. Mostly because genie. I worry it would be like the genie in You Wish.
Mm.
If this is the Sabrina universe we're living in, I don't want that nonsense. Not really an alien person, and I feel like I don't have anything to base this on, but I feel like the enchanted tree would provide good conversation.
That's valid.
Don't know how one would kiss an enchanted tree or, like snuggle, but like I feel like the conversation would be good enough. Our episode is season 3, episode 16, Sabrina the Matchmaker. TV guide description. As punishment for trying to break up her Aunt Zelda and Mr. Kraft, Cupid instructs Sabrina to bring a couple together for Valentine's Day or face the consequences. Our streaming description. It's Valentine's Day and Sabrina must help 2 people fall in love or suffer Cupid's wrath. And for an episode that features 0 FaceTime from Cupid, it's a little misleading. It originally aired February 12th, 1999. Gary Halverson is our director, and we have 3 writers. First off is Eric Schlecht. He only has one other writing credit, which is for a short titled No Experience Necessary. And then his other credit was assistant to producers for Deadly Games. We also have Paula Hart, credited as a writer. She's obviously Melissa Joan Hart's mom and an executive producer on the show. And then Dan Berenson, who was a writer for Suspicious Minds and Sabrina Goes to Rome, which I'm just realizing this may explain why we get a little bit of Sabrina Goes to Rome continuity later in the episode.
Look at that.
One person remembered that movie and what happened in it. Didn't remember when he was writing it what else was happening in Sabrina, but there we go. We have a long list of guest stars. First off is Hallie Todd as Marigold. This is a new Marigold. This is not the Marigold we saw back in season 1. She is probably most well known as Lizzie McGuire's mom, but she was also in Impossible Brothers and Life with Roger. Brian Cousins is Emil. He is from Mandroid, which I feel like we've discussed before. I've definitely seen it in somebody else's credits, and it's driving me insane. I didn't Google search. I could have searched the drive. I didn't. It may have also been one of the ones I saw it and I didn't put it down on somebody's credit list for the show. He was also in The Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, and Star Trek The Next Generation. Steve Sachs is the baseball player. He is a former Major League Baseball player and coach. He played for the LA Dodgers from 1981 to 1988, the New York Yankees from 89 to 91, Chicago White Sox from 92 to 93, and the Oakland A's in 1994. Alexandra Hart Gilliams is Allie. She is Melissa Joan Hart's little sister. She also had some roles on Melissa and Joey and The Right Connections. Emily Hart returns as Amanda, Sky's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden Tank is Robbie from, again, The Young and the Restless, 6 Feet Under, and Freaky Friday. Emil Hirsch is Daryl from Speed Racer, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Walden the video game. And yes, that is the Walden you're thinking of.
Never heard of it before.
How do you make Walden into a video game? Do you walk around the lake and collect thought bubbles? Like, what do you do in Walden the video game?
I mean, it's available on PS4 and Steam. I could play it. It's full $10. It does look like you're exploring. I see a map and you pull out a compass. It's like an old school compass where you have to do like in rods move around. There.
It sounds so terrible.
It has a 3.98 average out of 5 stars.
That is higher than I would have expected.
This is from the PlayStation folks. I mean, I feel most of the cozy gamers are actually like PC gamers and not the PlayStation gamers, so.
Okay, someone play the Walden video game for us.
Send me $10, Laura.
I will. Don't tempt me with a good time. I will make you play that Walden video game.
I mean, I'll play it. Send me $10.
Okay, I will.
Done.
Then we have Frankie Muniz. Everybody knows him. He is Angelo in this show, though. He's obviously from Malcolm in the Middle, Agent Cody Banks, and my dog Skip, which my mother refers to as Skip my dog.
Oh.
She never remembers the correct order of those words. And lastly, we have Michael Getz as the waiter from NCIS, Outlaw, and Renegade. What are your overall thoughts on this one, Sky?
There was a lot going on in this episode, and not necessarily in a good way. Like,
No.
they did too much all
Yes.
at once, and it hurt my already brain-fogged head, so I'm going to rate this one pretty low in this season.
It's definitely not the worst episode. That still goes to Snot Dangle. One of my trivia notes here is that this episode was actually intended to be a backdoor pilot for a spinoff, which would feature Marigold, Amanda, and Allie adjusting to life in the mortal realm, and it was going to be called Spells Trouble. This absolutely feels like a pilot. Like, Sabrina has a backseat in this. It's very Marigold storyline heavy. But how many plot lines do we have going on in this episode? We have at least 3.
3, quasi 4.
We could argue Sabrina's is its own plot line and separate from Marigold. So it's a lot. It's a lot. This is also not the first time they're going to try and do a spinoff for a member of this family.
Interesting.
Yeah. We have a couple seasons, I think, for the next one, but they are so determined to try and they're trying to make a Sabrina universe. I think there's a way to do it. I don't think it was this way. Obviously, it was not this way because it didn't work. The other trivia I have is that this is the first of 3 things that Frankie Muniz and Hallie Todd are starring in together. The second one is his couple of episodes on Lizzie McGuire, and the third one is her appearance on Malcolm in the Middle. So weird that they kept crossing paths like that. I kind of like her as Marigold better than our first Marigold. I will say Beth's acting is weird in this episode. She does a couple of things that kind of threw me and took me out of the scene, which is strange for Beth because she's usually so spot on. I'm wondering what the feelings were of the other actors about this episode and how much they cared. Oh, I should have mentioned this in our credits. We also do have a special credit of Martin Mull playing Carlton.
That's true. You didn't mention him.
Did not mention that one. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Our cold open. Sabrina sits at her desk reading a Valentine card she picked out for Libby. Why? But okay. The poem says, roses are red, violets are blue. You remind me of primordial goo. Salem, meanwhile, is in crisis. He counted 6 hairs in his kitty comb yesterday, and there are 10 today. Sabrina pulls another hair from a more elaborate card she's been working on for Harvey. That makes 11, and Salem sobs. Sabrina muses about whether she and Harvey might be soulmates. Salem asks if she'd still love him if he was bald. She says, of course, unless he does that weird comb-over thing. Then she finds the 12th hair. She's up Salem in a full hairpiece. He wants to know if he can swim in it. Our outfit intro is a surf outfit, and she says, no channel surfing. Boy, do I hate that shirt. It looked like moldy cheese.
Delicious.
It was awful. It looked like something in a petri dish. Zelda rushes Sabrina out the door for breakfast. A flaming arrow thuds into Sabrina's doorframe with a card attached. Cupid is mad. Sabrina reads that because she meddled in the laws of love by trying to break up Zelda and Mr. Kraft, she must help 2 people fall in love by Valentine's Day or spend weekends picking up trash along the other realm interstate.
Sabrina asks how Cupid can know that, to which Zelda says it's Cupid's job to know these things, and I might have mentioned it to him at a cocktail party. When Sabrina hears about having to pick up trash, she says, ew, I don't want to spend my time chained to a bunch of drunks in orange jumpsuits.
And Zelda helpfully notes, it's not all drunks. Some are murderers.
Which, why aren't they cats?
I don't understand other realm justice. It's very strange. And it's just going to get stranger in the next season.
Great.
In the kitchen, Salem has set up an elaborate mirror system to check the back of his head.
Look, I really am losing my hair. Oh, wait, that's my butt.
Hilda breezes in with news that she met an amazing guy, Carlton, and that he asked her out for Valentine's Day. And I really like this shirt on Hilda because it brings out the blue in her eyes. Sabrina thinks this solves her assignment until Zelda points out Cupid is nobody's fool.
Zelda also remarks that this is the best time in a Hilda relationship before she spends any time with him.
Zelda's also holding a bagged lunch in a purpley pink paper bag. And who is that lunch for? Because Sabrina sure doesn't take her lunch to school.
I'm sure Mr. Kraft would love a pink lunch bag.
Harvey catches up to Sabrina at school, who's scoping out every guy she passes as a potential match. Harvey announces great Valentine's Day news. His dad is handling a roach problem at the fancy French restaurant La Petite Chienne and scored them a reservation. The only downside is there's no salad bar. Fair. I would also be bummed by that. Mr. Kraft rounds the corner and breaks up their PDA with detention slips, then mentions he hopes Zelda doesn't mind Easter candy for Valentine's since his mother wants it out of the freezer.
At the start of the scene, when Sabrina is scoping out potential single people who might need a match, there is a very tiny LGBTQ reference. Gotta take them where you get them in the 90s there. When she asks if that guy is single, and Harvey points out that he thinks he's dating that other guy there.
And it wasn't played for laughs necessarily.
No,
which
it was just
nice.
nope, those two are together.
Yep.
And then at the end, Sabrina says about other people, hey, those two would make a cute couple, to which Harvey says, isn't there a rule about lunch ladies dating students?
I sure hope so.
Same.
Also, Mr. Kraft says he needs to get the Easter Candy out of his mother's freezer, but literally 2 episodes ago, he was living with his grandmother. Although I do remember that we have seen that he gets passed around between relatives. So maybe his grandmother's renovations are not done and Zelda's not letting him move back in with them. So he's moving to his mother's house. I don't know.
That's being very kind to the writers.
It's being very kind to the writers. I'm trying to throw them a bone. On the phone, Sabrina tries to pressure Valerie into dumping Justin so she can set them up again with no luck.
Harvey and I do it all the time. It's how we keep our relationship fresh.
So Valerie's been dating Justin since Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Where was Justin in the whole Valerie, I'm a loser, my parents want me to turn into Sabrina episode? I feel like Justin could have played a role in that.
You know, the writers kind of forgot about him.
Bring back Justin Bum.
Justice for Justin.
Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Zelda discovers that the hair growth tonic Salem ordered is actually cornbread batter. He's convinced it'll work. Hilda swans in on her way to Paris to find the perfect Valentine's Day dress for her date with Carlton. A message pops up in the toaster. Cousin Marigold and her kids are coming to discuss the family secret. Hilda and Zelda immediately leave, so Sabrina will be alone with them. And Salem has applied the cornbread batter to his head with a shower cap on and is optimistic.
He says there, a couple of hours and you can call me Crystal Gale. Crystal Gale is a country music singer known for her almost floor-length hair.
Salem has a lot of random references in this episode.
Like, she hasn't cut in like 5 decades, but in the 90s it was like at its longest length.
How does that even happen? Like, mine will get long if I don't cut it, but I think it would break off before that point. That's impressive.
Yes, there were very intense hair care routines she'd have to take, like shampooing in sections and then hair drying, like in very specific sections.
I would keep that stuff in a braid most of the time.
Yeah.
That would be a Rapunzel braid. Sabrina is on the phone trying to ask the operator if they're dating anyone. The linen closet opens and out comes Marigold. She introduces her youngest daughter, Allie, who has never been to the mortal realm and is deeply unimpressed.
You're right, a whole lot of nothing.
Allie was cute. Demonic, but cute.
So a child.
Then Amanda emerges from the closet after turning towels into taffy. Sabrina immediately points herself into full SWAT riot gear. Amanda tells Allie she loves it when you can see fear in their eyes, and the girls run off. Marigold explains she would have left the girls with their nanny, but the girls won't say what they did with her. There's an explosion, and both girls come running in soaked. Mortal plumbing is apparently both confusing and fun. The bathroom is shin deep in water, and we know that bathroom's on the bottom level. I don't understand where in the bottom level it is. And also that water at the same level goes out into the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of water.
The window on the bathroom made it seem like it was like a second story almost.
But the girls come running in. Well, I guess they could have run down the kitchen stairs, the second stairs, and met them on the first floor. I don't know. It's a fun house. Mirror fun house. We're doing great.
Thriving.
Plumber Emil is working a plunger on the toilet and eventually pulls out Sabrina's sweater from the U-bend. Emil squats down to Allie's level and mentions his son Robbie is out front and while on his way to being a juvenile delinquent himself. Sabrina is shocked to find out the random plumber has kids that he never told her about. How often is this plumber at their house? How often does Sabrina interact with him? Okay.
Could see Salem causing plumbing issues for fun.
If Sabrina knows him that well, Hilda has definitely hit on this man. Amanda and Ellie head out to find Robbie, debating who can zap him into a snowman first. Sabrina chases after them. This is where we get into like weird pilot territory. Emil and Marigold stay in the flooded bathroom and strike up a flirty water fight. He squirts her with the tap. She pulls the wrench and soaks his pants. He pushes her face into the water sprite. That one I was uncomfortable with. Then she dumps a handful of water on him, and eventually they end with Emil in the bathtub and Marigold on the floor, both completely drenched and laughing.
3 minutes we will never get back.
Sabrina stands between Robbie and the girls with a firm grip on everyone's fingers. Allie pleads to turn him into a salamander. Sabrina says not until she's old enough to use vindictive magic responsibly. But then Robbie hits Sabrina in the back with a baseball, and she reconsiders. All three witches raise fingers, but then Marigold and Emil come squelching in with towels before anything terrible happens.
Marigold says, "You girls aren't going to believe this, but your mother actually did manual labor." Too much gasps.
And Amanda is horrified. Emil brushes something off Marigold's chin. Amanda and Allie notice their mom is acting all nice. Sabrina realizes she's found her couple.
Brief scene change, I guess, where Salem comes down the stairs once Emil leaves, saying, "Where's the water? I need to rinse. The tingle is now a burn."
And the little kitty actor had the little towel on his head. Sabrina pushes the match, pointing out Emil is cute, single, and her last hope. Marigold dismisses it. Sabrina points out he has a truck with his picture on the side. Marigold insists it would never work and she'll never see him again. So Sabrina immediately zaps his toolbox back onto the counter. And I like Marigold's magic sound. She has very, classy music playing. Emil returns for the toolbox. Sabrina tries to get him to ask Marigold out. He likes her, but assumes a rich, classy woman like her would never go for a not rich guy like him. Sabrina engineers a dinner plan on the spot, inviting Emil for Valentine's Day before either he or Marigold can object. Marigold shoves Amanda off the couch mid-protest, suddenly finding herself completely free. Sabrina tells Harvey the next day she can't go with him to a Valentine's dinner. He is very understanding and wonders if he could take his mom instead. Harvey is just the greenest of flags. He's like, I know you wouldn't cancel unless it was really important. Zelda and Hilda discover they are wearing the same dress for their dates. There's finger pointing that escalates into a full magic wardrobe battle that reminds me of the stepsisters tearing off Cinderella's gown until both of their dresses are destroyed. They also find out they're both going to La Petite Chienne for their dinner. Sabrina helps a nervous Marigold get ready, and I love Marigold's dress. Gorgeous. Marigold has never been on a date with a mortal. Genies, Martians, enchanted trees, but never a mortal. Sabrina tells her to just be honest and be herself. Marigold says she'll never remember all that. Allie and Amanda listen against the door and make a pact to take Plunger Boy down. Hilda and Zelda wait for their dates inside the restaurant, but the outside shot of that restaurant says it's Rossini's, not La Petite Chienne. Mr. Kraft arrives covered in dust. Some idiot in a Porsche tried to run him down. Carlton then walks in. Carlton is just Mr. Kraft with a goatee and no glasses. The resemblance is remarkable, and zero characters comment on this at any point in the episode. Carlton seems to have the opposite personality of Mr. Kraft, however. The host accidentally seats all four of them at the same table, with both Zelda and Hilda whispering to their dates about how the other sister has low self-esteem. Emil shows up looking very dapper out of his work clothes. Somebody owns an iron, Sabrina says. Amanda immediately points an iron into existence directly above his head. Sabrina shoves him aside just as it falls. She blames it on people dropping things out of airplanes. Mr. Kraft orders the 14-ounce sirloin. Carlton orders the 16-ounce. Mr. Kraft clarifies that was just a start and asks about the ham. And before Mr. Kraft even says anything, Zelda's face changes. She's shocked. And I'm like, you're projecting what's going to happen. Sabrina brings out the baked chicken under a silver cloche for Marigold and Emil. Allie points at it from behind the living room door. Sabrina lifts the cover, and the chicken has been resurrected. She covers it again quickly. It's a little undercooked. And she goes back to the kitchen. Back in the chicken, Sabrina needs to find a new entree.
You just said back in the chicken.
Leave it in. And back in the kitchen, Sabrina needs to find a new entree.
And a coop.
And why is she not just zapping in food? Why are we actually cooking like a mortal? Also, we've seen this girl bake a pizza. She's not cooking a gourmet meal. She could barely handle pizzas.
I feel like she zapped in the chicken as a dead chicken, but now that it's alive, does she not have the heart to...
Does she not know how to re-zap it back to death?
Re-deadify it?
She hasn't learned the killing spells yet.
Avada
Salem needs help, don't we all? He left the formula on too long and now has full hippie cat hair. Marigold comes in and panics about Emil talking about baseball, so she summons an actual professional baseball player to explain it to her.
Sabrina says, wait, you just can't walk in there with a professional baseball player. To which Marigold says, well, can't I shrink him down and put him in my pocket? You wonder where your children got these bad habits, Marigold?
My reaction was yeah, sure, why not? Emil's not gonna know. Let him be in your pocket and whisper baseball stuff to you. Sabrina tells Marigold to just be honest because guys love explaining stuff.
And also says that that's the only downside.
Is it the only downside? The baseball player is very confused. Sabrina hands him the chicken and runs to answer the doorbell.
Salem says to the baseball player, "You know, baseball's a game that combines physical prowess with mental discipline. Kill the chicken." Can't even say it seriously. Kill the chicken.
Do we think he wants the chicken dead to either eat the chicken or just as like a mind game with this baseball player?
My first thought while watching this episode would be that he wants to eat the chicken because it is Salem. But also, I firmly believe that Sabrina did not cook a chicken to begin with and zap the chicken in. There could be some like ungodly horror about to be released because this chicken has been like resurrected from a state in which it should not be.
It's a zombie chicken.
And so Salem's like, "No, dude, like, you gotta kill the chicken or else it's gonna be bad."
Can zombie chickens turn humans into zombies? Or do you think they can only zombify other chickens or other birds?
I think birds. It's like the bird flu, but with death.
Oh, no. And there's so many birds in the world. And especially like those Australian magpies, if those things got turned into zombies, nope, game over. We're all dead. What is it, cassowary?
Yeah.
A zombie cassow? Nope. Australia's just off limits if they're zombie birds. Just don't go to Australia. You're sorry, everybody in Australia is dead from the zombie birds. Harvey arrives and demands to spend Valentine's Day with Sabrina because his mom went out with his dad. He offers to help babysit and Sabrina starts to decline, but Marigold somehow shows up and pipes in that it would be great and the girls will behave if she asks them to. Doubtful. Harvey takes Amanda and Ellie to Sabrina's room. Sabrina tells Amanda that he had better be just as cute and sweet when she gets back, or she's giving Amanda a wart she'll need to push around in a wheelbarrow. Sabrina zaps a solid brick wall behind the door to trap the girls in with Harvey.
Makes a note to herself and says, "I'll zap in a porta potty later."
Mr. Kraft and Carlton argue over Smokey and the Bandit, which turns into a full-on fight. And while Mr. Kraft is talking, someone's hand is eating off of Mr. Kraft's plate. And then I realized it's just because the plates are placed weird. But in that shot, it very clearly looks like Beth is just like reaching over to Mr. Kraft's plate and just eating off of it. It's terrible, terrible positioning. Mr. Kraft lands face first in the remains of Zelda's meal, and Zelda asks if they should split the creme brulee sampler.
Smokey and the Bandit. From Wikipedia here, Smokey and the Bandit is a 1977 American action comedy road film starring Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, Jackie Gleason, Jerry Reed, Pat McCormick, Paul Williams, and Mike Henry. The film follows Beau the Bandit Darville and Cletus Snowman Snow, two truck-driving bootleggers attempting to illegally transport 400 cases of Coors beers from Texarkana to Atlanta. During their run, they are pursued by Sheriff Buford T. Justice of Montague County, Texas, after his son's runaway bride, Carrie, joins the bandit and the snowman in their rum run. Except it's not rum, it's Coors. Poor choice. Also, though, I feel like this is a film Mr. Kraft wouldn't mind. Given other films he's brought up, I feel like this isn't the film they should be duking it out over.
He was like, there's no way Smokey and the Bandit's in the top 100 greatest films of all time. Like, they should have used the Billy Jack that we have established in 2 episodes now. Like, what do you mean Billy Jack's not in the top 10 greatest films of all time? Like, there were culture references we already have about Mr. Kraft that could have been used. And again, pre-streaming. I get it. I feel like there's somebody's job should have just been to sit in the corner and like collect trivia about the characters to like relay back at a later date. But what do I know? I'm not in show business.
It's no business like show business.
Emil talks about his boys. He wouldn't trade them. He'd sell them, but he wouldn't trade them. Marigold sneaks a look into her wine glass and conjures a tiny vision of his 3 boys destroying Emil's living room. She tells him the couch has got to go. Emil asks what's in her glass. Sabrina spots this, claims it's the cork, and fishes it out with her finger. Steve Sachs finishes trimming Salem's long hippie hair. Nobody will mistake him for Pierre Salinger again.
Pierre Salinger started off as a child music prodigy and could play the grand piano before he could read, and had his first public concert when he was 6. However, at the age of 12, his mom said his piano studies were isolating him from society and encouraged him to spend a year away from piano. Pierre never returned to piano and instead became a journalist, author, and politician. He served as the White House press secretary for JFK and Lyndon B. Johnson, was a United States senator, and also one of the campaign managers for RFK, and was like 10 feet away from RFK when RFK was shot.
Oh, no, terrifying.
He was most famous probably, though, for his very bushy eyebrows, and it was said he carried a very tiny comb to comb his eyebrows back.
You know, I have a tiny comb for my eyebrows, so I can't pass judgment. I don't carry it with me, just once in the morning. Make sure they're laying properly. But all right. Well, Pierre Salinger. Steve, the baseball player, notes Salem's getting a little thin on top. Salem sobs. Steve has also baked a pie, which is nearly ready. That is a very short amount of time in which to bake a pie, but okay. A commotion erupts from upstairs. Sabrina shoves the tray of empty plates into Steve's hands and runs. Amanda and Allie are standing in the rubble of the bricked-up doorway in hard hats with sledgehammers. Harvey is just as cute and sweet as promised. He's just now a puppy. His name is also now Cuddles. What kind of dog is that?
A mutt. I don't know, dog breeds. Looks like a mutt.
They call him a couple different things, I think. And I'm like, I don't think it's any of those things. I think in the transcript they call him a Labrador. And I'm like, I don't think that's a lab.
Little puppy.
Sabrina chases Harvey/Cuddles down the stairs and through the dining room. She stops briefly to tell Marigold and Emil that dessert will be right out. Then she runs off when she hears barking in the kitchen. We hear oh no's from both Salem and Steve Sachs. Salem runs from the kitchen through the dining room with Cuddles in hot pursuit. Sabrina dives under the table after them. The table shakes and wobbles. Emil and Marigold hold hands. Salem escapes to the living room. Sabrina comes back up breathless, then runs after the animals to the living room as well. Sabrina yells at Allie and Amanda to change Harvey back as she runs after him and Salem through the living room and back up the stairs. Allie and Amanda use this time to put their plan into action. Emil mentions the wine is making him feel warm. Then his chair bursts into flames. He leaps up. Marigold calmly conjures a watering can and puts it out. Emil takes the can to help finish the job, then stops and looks at it. Where did the watering can come from? Marigold excuses herself.
And we hear Salem faintly in the background going, "Help! I'm too young to be a chew toy."
That man is several hundred years old. That man cat. Marigold goes back into the dining room but doesn't see Emil, only Allie and Amanda. Sabrina comes in carrying dog Harvey and yells at the two girls to get into the kitchen and clean up a, quote, puddle. Sabrina asks Marigold where Emil is, and then they hear a tiny voice calling for help. The girls zapped him into the wine bottle. Sabrina smashes the bottle on the table, and Emil grows back to normal size, laying on the table. Marigold tries to play it off like nothing happened, but he isn't fooled. He demands an explanation. Marigold just straight up tells him she's a witch.
Sabrina says, "Am I the only one who thinks the salmon mousse has gone a little bad?"
Is that what she made?
I guess.
I mean, again, I would not trust Sabrina with most foods. I feel like with salmon mousse, you're risking food poisoning with that girl.
Maybe she thought it'd be harder to be zapped into a full salmon since it doesn't have the shape of a salmon anymore by the girls.
I don't put anything past these girls. Anyway, Emil runs off. Mr. Kraft and Carlton are sharing a jail cell, and they discover they are both Doris Day fans.
Doris Day was an American actress and singer with a career that spanned nearly 50 years. Some of her most famous songs included Sentimental Journey and Que Sera Sera. In film, she had the title role in the musical Calamity Jane and starred opposite Rock Hudson in 3 features. She also had a sitcom called The Doris Day Show.
Amanda and Allie have conjured up a full playground inside the house. The baseball player is eating pie. Harvey the puppy is chewing a tennis ball. Sabrina tells Marigold she has to go after Emil. If he tells anyone she's a witch, they lose their magic and get exiled to the mortal realm permanently. Which is where we get consistency from Sabrina Goes to Rome, and Marigold could also turn Emil into stone in the next 12 hours to counteract that. As Sabrina announces she'll go herself, every spell that was cast reverts. Emil has already told someone. Hilda and Zelda walk in on Mr. Kraft and Carlton singing Que Sera Sera together. They immediately tell the officer they have never seen these men before in their lives.
And this scene is almost cut completely in Paramount Plus. It cuts off right before Hilda and Zelda see the boys singing together, and we don't actually hear them singing Que Sera Sera.
Is there like a weird copyright?
Paramount Plus and Doris Day might have beef in her death. I don't know.
So they couldn't sing Que Sera Sera, but we got Zelda and Mr. Kraft singing Love Lifts Us Up Where We Belong. Okay, sure. Sabrina sees Harvey out. He slept the whole time and feels awake. Sabrina throws the tennis ball outside. This is maybe my favorite Nate acting moment
It's pretty
ever.
great.
It's so good. Harvey runs after it without thinking. She closes the door and finds Marigold trying to strangle a lamp. Sabrina shows her how to switch it on, and Marigold is horrified at what she's become. Then there's a knock. Sabrina thinks it's Harvey, but it's Emil, and Sabrina says, I shouldn't have changed him into a retriever. Number one, Sabrina didn't change him into anything. That was the girls doing. Number two, it wasn't a retriever. I understand the joke. I understand. It needed to be saying they shouldn't have changed him into a retriever, and the dog should have actually been a retriever puppy. I think I'm most angry about this joke. Of all the weird things in this episode, this joke irked me the most.
25 years later.
So angry about it. Emil has been driving around for an hour thinking and talking to his brother. His brother thinks he's crazy, and he is crazy about Marigold.
Marigold says, wow, and he's met my children under her breath.
I mean, fair. He wants to keep seeing her despite not understanding any of what happened tonight. They move in for a kiss, but he asks if she actually has magical powers. She can honestly say she doesn't. They kiss. A flaming arrow thuds into the carpet at their feet. Sabrina celebrates. Emil is not even going to ask. Hilda comes home grumpy, and Zelda says, see, that wasn't so hard. Harvey comes panting back in with the tennis ball in his mouth, and Sabrina throws it again. Well, she fakes throws it, which is just the best. It's like 3 fake throws, and then she finally throws it. That was really good from me. Our end tag. Marigold, now mortal, is studying a mayonnaise jar. Sabrina asks if she really doesn't mind losing her magic. Marigold says she's had magic for hundreds of years and was never really happy. Now she's happy. She hands Sabrina a roughly heart-shaped valentine.
When Sabrina comments on the shaping of it, she says, have you ever tried to use scissors? Barbaric.
It's Sabrina's new clue to the family secret. Amanda and Allie come downstairs with their blouses unevenly buttoned and hair everywhere. They've never had to dress the mortal way before. Emil arrives at the back door with his 3 boys, Daryl, Angelo, and Robbie. Marigold introduces Amanda and Allie. Angelo immediately makes fun of Amanda's badly buttoned shirt and asks if she buttoned it with her feet. Amanda says no, her fist, and goes after him. Robbie shows Allie his pet bullfrog. She screams and runs away. He chases her. Emil pleads for everyone to act like a family. What? Why are we trying to act like a family? Daryl, correctly, says to quit saying that they're not a family. Drew, Daryl, your father met this woman 72 hours ago? Maybe? I mean, I guess Marigold can't go back to the other realm, so it could have maybe been a couple more days. I don't think so, though. Sabrina, however, says it sounds like a real family to her. The end. So, any last thoughts on that one?
Boy, was that an episode back then, and boy, was this an episode for y'all tonight.
Oh, I was going to say, so I went to go see You, Me, and Tuscany with our friend Nikki a couple weeks ago, and Nikki was very critical of how quickly that romance moved along, and now I'm just like, Nikki, I'd love to hear your thoughts on combining families 3 days after we met each other. What's your new title for this one, Sky?
I'm phoning it in and saying that it spells trouble.
Fair enough.
It's hard to come up with one for this, honestly. Like, there's so much, and there's so much nothing as well.
You couldn't beat the genius that is Sabrina the Matchmaker.
I know, right?
I feel like we've had a run of we have more coming up, 5 episodes that are Sabrina and the blank, Sabrina the blank. Speaking of phoning it in, at least we're not getting paid to come up with these titles. What's your guess for the family secret? I haven't added the heart to the board. I know where it goes.
Is it the last word?
No, of course not. The last word's going to be the last one we get.
Boo. Well, I was looking at the board and trying to figure out where in these minus or plus letters a heart could go.
Give me a guess before I add it, and then I'll add it in, and we'll see if that changes anything.
Fire. Minus L. So no heart in the first 2 words. I think it goes something about the heart goes the Spellman heart plus blank plus Robert E. Lee. Robert E. Lee's pet snake is born with a minus E. Ta-da!
The heart goes here.
This is supposed to be love, but then we're minus of.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Of.
Uh-huh.
A heart becomes of.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to hold it together.
Well, okay. So this is of.
Mm-hmm.
What comes after of?
Of the Spellman.
Uh-huh.
I'm really mad about this of, though. I'm not gonna lie, you're trying to get me past it, but plus fire, so the fire isn't something. Oh gosh. Flame.
You're gonna be so mad.
I'm mad already. My face is bright red, and it's just because a heart just became of.
Angrier and angrier. I also don't think we get another clue for the family secret for a minute. I think episode 18 is maybe our next one.
So what's Robert Ely then? Some stupid Robert Ely becomes a saxophone? I don't even know. Some
becomes a saxophone.
You know what I'm trying to say? No correlation. There's nothing here. It's all empty void.
The one you're going to hate the most is the one that we get in 19. It's the absolute worst. They do eventually just flat out tell you what that one is, but it's not for a couple more episodes after that. So what's your guess for the family secret? Are you going to guess? Are you boycotting?
I'm trying really hard. This love becoming of is really making me question a lot of things in a not fun way. Fire of the Spellman family. Snake is born with a mullet.
Sure, let's go with it.
I feel like now that I have a board, I'm not going to get creative with my guesses. I'm going to be literally telling y'all the vowels and pictures and...
Oh my gosh. I told you once you got the board, you'd just be angrier.
I know. I'm looking at myself in the camera and my face is bright red, anger from inside out.
So mad. Oh, okay. I think I've already said this, but at some point, some character says, I solved mine in 3 clues. And I just want to be like, how? Absolutely how? Did you have a more helpful board than this one? Because what the hell? Okay, our next episode is season 3, episode 17, Salem the Boy. It will be better than this one. What do you think it's going to be about, Sky?
Salem's finally going to be a human again, but not a fully adult human like he would like, but instead a little child trying to take over the world.
Okay. Bad news, good news. Quite Gordy heavy episode. Bad news, Roland is back.
This is the last Roland one?
This is the last Roland one. So we got back-to-back Amanda Roland. This is not the last Amanda episode, but we don't see her for a little while, I don't think. So she has time to grow up.
So Roland turns Salem into said child, and Salem and Gordy become best friends.
I like that. Tune in for next week's episode because we'll have some news to share with you then. That's very exciting. There's a cat lifted above Sky's head currently. Sky is doing lifts with a cat. Sky is so checked out of this episode. Well, until episode 17, please like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast. You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com, and you're going to want to follow us on Instagram at somethingwitchypod, so you can also see listen to the episode, but I might get tired and tease it before then. We'll see. Until next time.
Stay magical. Do you want to meow? Quick, now's your chance.
Meow. Squeeze it.
Bop it.
Twist it. Pull it.